Hello and welcome back to Empowering She. I'm Rochelle and this is episode 3, and I'm really excited and anxious today because we have our expert on the show to answer some of the questions you guys sent in to me. Shenee Johnson is that expert, and she's going to give you guys some advice today on this week's topics. I'm really excited about that, but let's get to these books. Thursday, I asked you guys to read Are You Lost? A Diva's Guide to Find Peace, Passion, and Purpose by the beautiful Saba Tekel. She also came on the show and I interviewed her briefly about the book, and she gave some excellent advice as well. If you've read the book, then you've gained a bit of confidence. You have probably started looking into all the things we suggested, from the EFT and meditating with the Tibetan singing bowls to changing how you guard your mind and energy from negative relationships and media. I hope you all took away something from this week that was inspirational. And the reason why I wanted to start out with these books and the topics is because I want an audience that's positive and uplifting, and I desire people who will understand what type of show this is. This is the type of show for those who want to inspire, uplift, and teach each other. And I believe there is no I in team. I also believe there's so much power in knowledge. That's why I encourage you guys to read the books I select for She Reads. I want all of you to develop, and some of you already have, but I want you guys to see that we are teaching unconditional love. We are doing this show to encourage loving yourself and others around you unconditionally, but also increasing awareness of the crap in your universe to encourage you to be your best self. So if you've made it to this episode, congratulations. We've made it through our first week, and I hope to hear more from our audience on how this show is impacting their lives. As I mentioned recently, I have Shenee Johnson on the show. She will be here every Saturday giving you guys expert advice. I would love to tell you all about Shenee, but I'm going to let her introduce herself. I talked briefly on my blog post yesterday about how we met. Hey, Shenee, and welcome to our humble abode. How are you today?
Hello. I'm doing really, really great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And
Good.
and I'm so excited for today's show because you're bringing your aspect to things in the show, and two heads are better than one. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes. First of all, I just really want to take the time to thank you and thank your audience for having me. I am so humbled and privileged and honored just
Thank
to have
you.
this opportunity to work with you, to inspire me, and to be able to help. So
Wow.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So a bit about me is I'm a life coach and a mental health specialist. I'm a Cali girl, originally from raised in Sacramento, California. Spent a little bit of time in Alabama, spent a lot of time in Florida. Yeah.
I love Florida. I love Florida.
Yeah, Florida was in Jacksonville, Florida. And spent a lot of time there, so just gained, my degrees there, got a lot of experience in my field. So I've been in Atlanta for a little over 2 years now.
Wow.
So, for me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, April will be 2 years, so yeah. So I feel like I'm still kind of new.
Yeah. I think everyone from here doesn't. I think everyone that's not from here. I'm from North Carolina, so I've been here for 6 years, but it just doesn't feel like I don't want to claim it. I don't want to claim it. I'm so ashamed to have the 770 numbers. Like, but I love it.
Hilarious. But I'm here and I love it. I love Atlanta.
I love it too.
Yes. So for me, I've always been the motivator, the encourager, the cheerleader for everybody I touch in my life. So friends, family, random strangers I meet. I'm very passionate about people following their passion.
Yeah.
And doing what it is that they love. So as soon as somebody is like, oh, I can't do that, I would like to, I'm always like, oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
So that's always been me. So life coaching just really set well with.
Came naturally.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in life coaching in the mental health industry as well?
For me, in this industry, a long and awesome 10 years.
Wow.
So, it is so long. And so, for me, I started as a manager, mental health case manager, worked my way on up to a wraparound coordinator, went into mental health counseling, and now into coaching.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, amazing. And I know I mentioned in the blog how we met, but I want to briefly give everyone my perception on Shenee. Shenee is a light of energy. I feel like I'm totally in sync with you. I think what made me like you even more was when I read your biography on your website, and I was cracking up because we have a lot of things in common. I too love salt and vinegar potato chips, and I also believe that the dill pickle, yeah, I also believe that the dill pickle flavor has the same tang. And I was raised in the South, and I don't think I mentioned to you before, but I'm into music as well. Music is my first love too. And when I first got here to Atlanta, singing was my dream, and it's still a dream of mine that I hope that one day I can find time to craft it, again. But I'm not going to talk everyone's head off. So I received some questions for Shenee by email, and I want to get to those because I'm eager to hear your advice on some of these. The first question is from Charlotte Price. She emailed, "What is your advice for someone who is struggling to balance their career and a positive outlook on life?" She says, "It's hard trying to stay uplifted and work a job or position I really don't like." Huh.
Charlotte, honey, I have been there. And so I'm sorry that you're going through that. But what I do want to say is just times like that when you're going through pain, that can just be on the brink of something amazing happening in your life. So I just want to, encourage you with that. But yes, I have been there. I have been in the job that I've hated and trying to figure out ways to stay uplifted and motivated. So I just want to give you a few tips, and it's actually amazing that you asked this question because I will be having a video very soon about just some tips on how to make your job most enjoyable for you. Okay, so sometimes people, and I'm not saying you, Charlotte, but some people are very quick to, going in for a few months, or I hate my job, it makes me miserable. So just finding some tips and some ways that you can talk to your boss and try to resituate and restructure your job in a certain way to make it most enjoyable and most fitting for your values. So I just have 3 tips for you right now. The first thing is really getting in touch with what you know your skill set is and what you're good at. So a lot of the misery for people can come when you're working a job that is not utilizing your strength. It is not utilizing your best self and your best energy. So you're doing something that either you don't like, that you're not good at, or you're struggling with. So really sitting down with your boss, your supervisor, and just being really frank and open with them. I'm in a rut. I'm feeling kind of uninspired right now. This is where I feel like my skills could be best used for this company, what you have going on. So just really presenting some ideas to them. Either that can be a project, that you're working on, or maybe something once a week that is being implemented within your job that your boss is allowing you to do. But just really something that you have in your job that you're looking forward to. So when you're going to work, it's not that like, oh my God, I'm going for another day. But it's something that you're really feeling like, okay, you're feeling really passionate about. So that's one thing. A second tip can be just the mere goal setting and finding some challenges in your job. Some things that you can start at, probably like on a Monday morning when you're going in, and just saying, what is your goal going to be for this week? So for me and a lot of the clients that I've worked with, just goals and accomplishing goals in and of themselves are very motivational. And as it's just kind of setting momentum for yourself. So as you're accomplishing one thing, it just makes you feel more confident and more comfortable for the next thing. So even if that's just simple, depending on what your job is, if you're in sales, okay, I'm going to make, 10 more calls than I normally would. Or if you're working with customers in, a clothing store or something like that, I'm going to talk to more customers. I'm going to smile more. I'm going to engage in more conversation. Whatever it is that makes you feel that would really uplift you and make you feel good about your days at work. And the third tip that I have for you is just trying to figure out a way to diversify your environment. So for me, I get bored really easily. I'm sure a lot of people do, especially when it's something, a job that you're doing the same exact thing every single day. So you're coming into work, going to your desk, you're doing these two things, you're taking lunch at 12, you have your staff meeting, and then you're going to your desk. Finding a way to break up your day. So again, when you're having that conversation with your boss about, okay, this is the skill set I want to try, finding a way, okay, is there a way I can do this project with a coworker or a colleague I don't see a lot of times? Is there a way I can a different department one time this week. Just finding something like that. And then it can be something very, very simple as like changing out the feng shui of your set. Just changing out the decor, putting out the pictures, or going to Dollar Tree or Dollar General, just finding little trinkets that when they're around you make you feel good, make you feel happy. It kind of refreshes your mind and your spirit. So that's what I have for you, Charlotte. I really, really hope that helps you out.
Wow, I think a lot of people needed to hear that. I really do. There's a lot of people struggling with, staying positive. That's I love all of your advice for that. So the next question, you're welcome. So the next question is from Lisa Baylor. She DM'd me on Twitter and she asked, how do I deal with people who don't believe in my dream as much as I do? How do I make them take me seriously?
Okay, Lisa, it's so amazing. All of these questions, I feel like I've been there. I feel like they are all part of me. Like we are here, Lisa. I know their struggle as well. Especially for me, going into life coaching, and it is somewhat a fairly new field, and so I did get that sense, from certain people in my life. Okay, they're not really believing me. They're not really hearing me. They're kind of like, okay, it's me. That's okay. So I wasn't really feeling that support. But Lisa, there's one thing that I want you to say to you, and I want you to hear this very clearly. And it's not to be depressive or anything like that, but if anything, I want it to empower you. No one is going to believe in your dreams as much as you do. No one. Not your mother, father, husband, kids, sister, brother. Nobody is going to believe in them as much as you. So like I said, I don't say that to be a example, but I want it to be empowering for you to know that this is your vision. Okay? God or whomever is your higher power put this spirit, this energy into your mind, into your heart, that this is your dream. Okay? And so in this vision, no one is going to see it in the detail and the complexity that you do. Nobody is. You can try your best to describe it or explain it, but nobody is going to do that like you do. Okay, so if anything, I just want that to sit and resonate with you, that not to expect that same exact energy that you have towards your dreams for everybody else. Just to kind of lower that expectation because they're not going to have it. They're not going to believe in you as much. Okay? And then the second one was about people taking you more seriously. Now, I'm not sure exactly whom you're referring to, if that's friends, family, or if that's coworkers or colleagues. But for me, what I have found is just really consistent action. So if you have a dream, if you have a project, if you have something a goal that you're working towards, just consistently on top of things. So being a woman of your word, doing what you say you're going to do for your business, for your dream, just being consistently just this can't die attitude, and just working. And so that friends and family, after a while, for me, I've experienced that in my life, that consistency. Because sometimes people will say things, I want to try this out, I want to try this, and not following. So just having that follow through, and people will come around in your life.
Wow. This is great. And here's an interesting question from Sharon Parker that I think a lot of moms would like advice about, even me. And she messaged me on Facebook and said, I am struggling to find peace in my busy life. I am a mom of 4 busy children. I own a boutique online, and I'm also a wife. How can I start catering to myself more?
Oh, a handful, girl. You are a busy lady, Sharon. So just hearing that mouthful, I'm like, I feel tired for you. So I have experience in that as well. Like, I definitely relate to that, being a busy woman. So between clients and family and friends and just trying to balance it out, still at the same time taking care of myself. Okay, so what I may say, it may be kind of blunt, but there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, even before family, even before friends. Because, and I don't want you to associate